Jakks Pacific. They don't really need an intro. You know who they are if you're watching this video. They make the 4-inch figures that everyone just loves oh so much. They make 2.5-inch figures. They make plushies despite not really focusing on that anymore.
Die!
But what they made before all of that were bendable figures. This was their first try at Sonic products. These were released in August of 2019, and since then they've made 3 waves of bendable figures. And nowadays you don't really hear anyone talk about them. Is there a reason as to why? Maybe, but there's a reason why you're here today. You're here to see, is it worth your money nowadays? These expensive bendable figures, are they worth your money nowadays? Are they worth talking about? Well, let's find out. Alright, who else are you really gonna start this off with? But like, who else? Sonic the Hedgehog right here. And sculpt-wise, I'd say he's great. He's great. I'm not gonna say it's perfect because there are a few problems with it. Like, I don't know if you can tell, but like there's like a line like all over this figure. There's like a bunch of just lines that are like going all over the place. I don't know what's going on with that. The back spikes are just like a whole completely different part, not connected to the body for some reason. The little holes in like his sculpt, I know there's probably like an actual reason for that, but like I don't know, that's still kind of weird to me. But like that's really it. And maybe his arms and legs are a little too thick, but honestly, I can live with that. But yeah, his paint is also good. It's good. Because, like, honestly, this is nice. The red paint they chose looks shiny and nice. I wish they made it this gold, but, like, what are you really going to do? And then, yeah, the paint to his muzzle and his stomach are, like, it's pretty good, too. The only problem is that, like, if you can tell, like the paint on the arm is definitely gonna get like fucked up if you like move around with it too much, which leads to another con that just kind of applies to all the bendy figures. But like if you move them too much, you can see the sculpt just like breaking. And that's just the whole thing with bendy figures, is that if you move them too much, they're gonna break. There's already like a decent amount of images with bendy Sonics like broken, so yeah, you gotta be careful with yours. I've had this since 2019. He just kind of looks like this. And standing, he actually stands pretty well. Honestly, I don't know if that's just me, but like, yeah, for me, he stands pretty well, especially if he's like in this pose. And let's just bring this into comparison. Yeah, honestly, this one just beats it out of the park. Not only because like he can actually like last a lot of years, but like he just looks cooler, honestly. The only problem I like over this is like, even though I think this is too thick, I'd rather have it look too thick than like randomly just getting really thin here. If it stayed like consistent like with this, like honestly perfect, but it just randomly gets thin, and that's always kind of bothered me. And then yeah, and with like the sculpt, the legs are also like that's the articulation. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to sacrifice the sculpt a little if you want to make a good action figure. But like, yeah, I'd rather take this over breaking it. So yeah, better. Now, who else is after but Miles Tails per Hour? And yeah, he's kind of worse. He's worse than Sonic. Well, but like, his head sculpt is perfect. His body is fine. His tails are also perfect. It's like everything is basically perfect besides the arms and even the legs, because he doesn't need to be this freakishly long looking guy, you know. We know Tails is supposed to be shorter than Sonic, so just looking at this side by side is what is going on. See, honestly, it might be just me, but Tails looks kind of bigger than Sonic, so that's not right. And like, yeah, if you put him like next to normal Tails artwork, he just like, yeah, he looks like a freak. But yeah, his sculpt is fine, but the legs really bring it down. His paint is also fine. Like, his shoes are basically perfect. And his stomach, I don't know if that's just me, but like it started cracking. I don't know what happened, for it to like do that. But yeah, and when it comes to standing, his tails suck. Like, you cannot, like, unless you like have him like displayed like this, or like you're displaying him flying, yeah, no, you're gonna have an awful time trying to display this guy because of how awful his tails are. And like, you can't even rotate them either, so like you're kind of screwed there, you know. So yeah, he's fine, I guess. I really doubt Jakks is gonna improve upon this, honestly. It's like, can they really get better than that?
You need to hang up that computer call. Why don't you come over here and kiss me on my hot mouth? I'm feeling romantical.
So comparing these two, come on, you already know the winner. It's the 4-inch figure. His proportions are perfect. The paint is just as good as the bendy figure, and like, and his tails are rotatable. Just like that, you can have him standing, like normally. Boom, already perfect. The only thing I'd say this thing has over him is the mouth. But that's really it. And like here, but like, again, I feel I'd rather have him with like actual proportion. Like, let me just put him next to Sonic. I grabbed the bendy figure, but like, this is basically kind of proves the whole. He's basically perfect next to him. Yeah, see, there we go. But like, yeah, no, it's just really, he's you already know he's better though. So now on to my personal favorite figure in the whole wave, Knuckles the Echidna. Because besides his neck just really standing out, you can't really fix that as much as you try to push it in there. The neck is going to be noticeable. But yeah, besides that, he's amazing, honestly. For sculpt wise, for Mono Knuckles, this is pretty great. Yeah, there's like a few lines right there, but like, I guess that's really nothing, I guess. Yeah, and then his arms might be a little too long for my liking. I don't know, I'd rather have him just slightly shorter and have his knuckles and his hand like bigger, slightly bigger. But besides that, yeah, he's basically perfect. Unlike the others, yeah, there's really nothing wrong with him besides the neck and maybe his arms being a little too long. And like, honestly, having him next to this Knuckles, it's like, honestly, I think I prefer this Knuckles. I'm not even gonna lie, because this Knuckles is like, it's good, but I have problems with this one. And like, this is, besides the neck, it's basically perfect. So like, yeah, other than that though, yeah, that's it. He's great. And on to my second least favorite in the wave, Shadow the Hedgehog. They did him so dirty because his sculpt is fine, but the neck, that's like the biggest problem I have with the figure. Just the neck. I don't know if you could tell, but just like holding him, he just like he easily just wobbles. That's not a good thing. You can't just like force it down, because the neck is still gonna be there, not as noticeable. But like, if you move it, yeah, his neck is just gonna really stick out. His inhibitor rings, like, at least with Sonic, it's not that bad. But when you see what they did after, I'm gonna just do the comparison right now. This is perfect. This is it. This is my guy right here. This is perfect. The inhibitor rings are golden yellow. That's exactly what I want. His muzzle and his ears are actually like a consistent color with the bendy figures. Like, you can tell it's just like they're different. They're like really different. Like, why is it different? You know? And I think with his highlights, I think this does it slightly better. But that's really it. Honestly, this is just, you get this. You don't want this. Like, if you, I don't know. Basically, just I don't like this figure. I really just do not like this figure. His sculpt is bad. It's bad. Like, even though if the neck just really ruins it for me. the paint is not that great. It's just, yeah, no, this ain't it. This ain't it. Disappointment in the game of life. Yeah, we're starting off strong with Wave 2, aren't we? Supersonic. Now, body-wise, it's literally just the same as, like, Wave 1. Different hands. That's really it. Besides, like, a thumbs up, you get an open hand. But, like, yeah, his paint is not that great. Honestly, like, I don't know if you can really see it, but the yellow on his buckle is really bleeding onto his shoe strap. And even, like, to the little middle part. And then, as you can tell on the side, it's just, it's not painted. I don't know if it's just mine, but, like, I'm a dock point for that. And then for some reason for Wave 2, they just decided to get rid of that shiny looking paint, like that perfect polish that Wave 1 had. Like, okay, they're already cheaping out on these things. And then clearly, the biggest thing is that Supersonic doesn't have his tan arms. Like, I know later releases did get the tan arms, but like, nah, how could you mess this up? How could you not notice he had these? Like, I guess this color and like the yellow they chose is like so close together that they're just like, oh, I thought we added that, but no, it's like really noticeable it's really noticeable. And his head sculpt is just, let me just put this guy up there. Like, this is great. This is dookie for it. His sculpt, his paint. Honestly, you already know. You already know. This is way better. This is already way better. This beats, yeah, head sculpt perfect. Literally the same thing as Wave Subendi. Literally just a Wave 1 body, but this is how you do it. They corrected themselves. This is, ugh. Alright, next figure in the wave, Metal Sonic. Yeah, Metal Sonic, honestly, his sculpt is pretty good, but like, paint is pretty sloppy with this one, honestly. Like, the blue is bleeding onto like the gray, there's gray parts, and like, yeah, actually with sculpt it's fine, but like, honestly, this was kind of weird if you're like looking at it really close. And then let me just show you the paint. Like that looks awful. The white is bleeding onto his arm. This, I don't know, this looks weird to me. I don't know if it's really supposed to be like that. Yeah, like more examples of this paint being really sloppy. Yeah, the paint's not great on this guy. Even more examples of the paint not being great. It's like a red dot on there. And I guess they didn't want the black to be bleeding onto his muzzle. So they just kind of cut it short and he just kind of looks like that. But sculpt-wise, he's fine. Paint-wise, it could be a lot better. Honestly, I think what this does better than the 4-inch is really just like the shiny looking paint. Why did he get the shiny paint but not Supersonic? I don't get. Metallic paint is just something I'm not even going to touch upon. But yeah, sculpt-wise, this is literally the exact same. I'm not even kidding. Look where this is, and look where the articulation is supposed to go right here. Like, yeah, look where the articulation is supposed to be. Boom, it's also right there. Literally just kind of looking at it, you can kind of tell it's literally almost the same. It's literally the same. This is just, the paint is not as sloppy. Like, sure, this is better than this, but that's really it. Like, it's basically the same thing, except this one's articulated. So yeah, this one, you don't even, if you have the articulated metal, you don't need this. So yeah. Oops. Now to the best one in the wave which honestly isn't really saying a lot. Dr. Eggman. Now, sculpt-wise, this is perfect. Honestly, I think this is perfect. Sculpt-wise, this is it. Paint-wise, it's good. Yeah, honestly, like right there, that looks weird. The paint's a little sloppy with his buckles right there, but that's really it. That's really it, honestly. And his face is that, I know that this is just mine, but like his glasses for some reason bleed into his like eyebrow, and that just ugh. And then some of his paint on his head is bleeding onto the goggles. But like I said, this is pretty good. And honestly, compared to like the 4-inch Eggman, like honestly, I think sculpt-wise this is slightly better, because hell, this is still kind of the same thing. Honestly, they both basically look the same to me. This one just has like better eye paint, well, better glasses paint. But like the arms, I don't know, like if you try to pose this man in like any other way, like this is just gonna look weird in my opinion. But yeah, with like the bendy figure, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, this, like I said, sculpt wise, I think this is slightly better. But literally, besides that, like, yeah, there's really not much to say about this. Besides, this is the best one out of the whole wave. But let's be real, that's not really saying a lot now, is it? Now, on to Wave 3. Who else could they do? Could they do Amy? Could they do a Sonic variant that isn't, like, just the same thing? Maybe it could be Soap Shoes. Are we gonna get Blaze? Are we gonna get any other character that isn't the same ones we've already gotten? And here's the Sonic in the wave, and it's literally the same besides his face and his hands. Let's just compare these real quick. Face wise, I do prefer this. Honestly, I prefer having the teeth showing. I just really, I love this a lot more than this standard like happy face he usually has. I live for this, you know. And his hands, honestly, I don't know if it's just me, but they look kind of weird. That might be just me. Like, why are his hands at like an angle, you know? I don't know if that's supposed to look natural or not, but that's really it with this figure. It's the same exact thing. And like, see, this has the shiny, but why does that one Sonic not have the shiny paint? But yeah, this is really it. It just has a sports jersey that, you know, I think it looks nice on him. But besides that, it's literally just the same thing. What do you expect? Oh, this is Wave 3. Oh, what do you mean that this is literally Wave 2? Oh, let's actually show you Wave 3. This is literally the exact same thing, besides he's happier. Yay, I prefer this. But let's be real, this isn't really saying much now, is it? This isn't really saying much. It's literally the same freak from earlier. Ugh. Here's Wave 3. Literally the exact same fucking thing, but with a sports jersey. His paint is slightly worse, but that's whatever. It might be just mine, but dock off points for that. He's like frowning now with teeth showing. And honestly, I actually do kind of prefer this, honestly. I kind of prefer this expression. I wish they would redo it in the 4-inch. But it's literally the same thing. What else do you want me to say? Besides, it's literally the exact same thing. Now, actually, you know what? I'm gonna say Wave 3 is the exact same thing. What do you want me to say? It's literally the same. It's literally the same body. I would give it points if it like had like different hands like Sonic, but like no, it still has the stupid yellow inhibitor rings that aren't gold. And his expression, I slightly like it more, honestly. I don't know. I think it adds more charm to this, honestly. Like the last 3 figures, yeah, I think they have more charm besides Tails. But yeah, it's the same thing. What do you want me to say? And he has a Studiopolis jersey. I didn't really say anything about the jerseys because they're fine, I guess. But like Studiopolis, it's just a shadow. Studiopolis is from Sonic Mania. What? No. There you go. And also, before anyone asks, I know they came with spinnable discs and like by the third wave sports balls, but honestly, they were in storage, so I didn't feel like getting them for this video. But I could just give a quick like few word summary. But they're okay. They're unique because they use Sonic battle sprites of all things, but they're not anything special, you know. The most special one is E102 Gamma, because it's, well, E102 Gamma merch. You don't really get that nowadays. And even then, like a few years or so later, they made an E102 Gamma plush, so it's not even the most interesting Gamma merch released recently. So like, yeah, and sports balls are just sports balls. Shadow's rugby ball, I think that's what it's called, has the gun logo on it for some reason. I don't understand. They're okay though. They're all right. And the second thing I didn't even end up mentioning were the re-release packs. I have 2 out of the 3. This was the one that released first. This spinning packaging Sonic exclusive to GameStop. It was around like $22. It was constantly on sale. It's literally just the Sonic, but like you can spin them around. Literally made for collectors. I'm sure there's some out there that were opened. And then there's this. The last Bendable release, I'm pretty sure. I think this was the last Bendable thing they've ever made. With this, the standard Bendy Sonic, with this sports jersey, Green Hill Zone 2020, and this gold medal. Yeah, that's really it. And I'm pretty sure they made the podium an accessory, but it's literally just a cardboard box. There's really nothing special in there. The one thing I don't have, however, is a 2-pack of Sonic and Knuckles. I'm pretty sure it's called the Face Off 2-pack. It's literally just the standard Sonic again for like the 5th time, and Knuckles, but this time the packaging is magnetic and you can like switch the way they're displayed or something. I don't know. That one was exclusive to the UK for like a good amount of time until they just randomly released at Walmart under the Jakks Gold branding. They didn't even bother changing like the packaging or anything. It literally on the site just said Jakks Gold on. But yeah, that's really it for re-release packs. You're not really missing much for these. It's literally just, they're all just like the standard Sonics besides gold medal Sonic, but even then it's literally just a jersey and a gold medal. You're not really missing much. And here's all the Bendy figures all together. And you know, Wave 1 was fine, Sonic was good, Knuckles was great. These two, they're not great. This is the exact same thing, so I'm not gonna. He was good. He was better than the 4-inch. He's and this is almost the exact same thing besides him, but even then it's literally just like, okay, Wave 1 is kind of meh. Wave 2 honestly kind of, like, besides Eggman, they all kind of suck. And then Wave 3 is just, why? It's literally just the exact same thing. Not even changing the hands, only the heads, and that's it. That's the only thing they get credit for. You changed the face. Yeah, no, honestly, yeah, just get the 4-inch figures. You probably already collect the 4-inch figures. And just like, Wayne, Jakks made something before the 4-inch figures, and yeah. And there's a good reason why no one talks about these things no more. It's because they're kind of dookie. Like, literally, if you ask me to, out of all of these, choose which ones are better than the 4-inch counterpart, you literally have almost all of them besides these two. He tried to get in there, but no. But yeah, literally just these two. So yeah, not exactly the greatest toy line Jakks has made. And I'm just grateful the 4-inch line exists, honestly. That basically improves almost on all of these in like every single way. So yeah, this is it. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is it. Goodbye.